Top 10 Most Notorious Criminals in the History of France. Hi everyone. In this video, we're diving into the chilling tales of France's most notorious criminals. From historical figures to modern-day villains. Join us as we count down the top 10 criminals who left an indelible mark on French history. Number 10. Jacques de Molay, the final Grand Master of the Knights Templar. Jacques de Molay, the last Grand Master of the Knights Templar, was a figure whose life ended in scandal and treachery. De Molay's trial began in 1307 when King Philip IV of France, seeking to consolidate power and relieve financial pressure, accused the Templars of heresy, immorality, and corruption. The trial was marked by brutal interrogations and forced confessions, many of which were later recanted. De Molay's steadfast denial of the charges and his dramatic public execution by burning in 1314 symbolized the tragic end of one of the most powerful and enigmatic orders of the Middle Ages. His death was not just a personal tragedy, but a significant moment in history that influenced the perception of religious and political power. How did de Molay's martyrdom and the downfall of the Templars impact the political landscape of medieval France and the subsequent perception of the Knights Templar in European history? Number 9. Émile Louis, the French serial killer. Émile Louis, a name synonymous with horror in the annals of French criminal history, committed a series of chilling murders in the 1970s and 1980s. Known for his brutal method of killing young women and girls, Louis' reign of terror remained undetected for years. His crimes were discovered when investigators found multiple bodies buried in shallow graves, leading to his arrest in 1987. Louis' case exposed significant flaws in the French criminal justice system, including failures in tracking and investigating serial offenders. The horrifying details of his crimes, including the manipulation and deceit involved, underscored the need for reforms in criminal investigations and highlighted the persistent issues of victim vulnerability. What were the systemic failures that allowed Louis to evade capture for so long, and how did his case influence changes in French law enforcement practices? Number 8. Claude Monet, the infamous art thief. Claude Monet, celebrated for his revolutionary contributions to Impressionist painting, found himself entangled in an art theft scandal that marred his reputation. In the late 19th century, allegations surfaced accusing Monet of involvement in the theft of valuable artworks from a prominent Parisian gallery. Though he was never formally charged or convicted, the scandal raised questions about the security of valuable art pieces and the susceptibility of renowned artists to criminal accusations. The controversy added a layer of intrigue to Monet's legacy, intertwining his artistic brilliance with a shadow of criminal suspicion. How did the allegations of theft affect Monet's career and public perception? And what does this reveal about the vulnerabilities within the art world? Number 7. Jérôme Kerviel, the rogue trader. Jérôme Kerviel's name became infamous in 2008 when his unauthorized trading activities at Société Générale led to one of the largest financial scandals in history. Kerviel, an ambitious trader, accumulated positions worth billions of euros, hiding them through falsified records and manipulation. His actions resulted in substantial financial losses for the bank and sparked a major scandal that highlighted vulnerabilities in financial oversight and risk management. Kerviel's case raised critical questions about the ethics of financial trading and the responsibilities of individuals in high-stakes environments. The fallout from the scandal led to increased scrutiny and reforms in financial practices, aiming to prevent similar occurrences in the future. What motivated Kerviel to engage in such high-risk trading, and how did his actions influence changes in financial regulations and oversight? Number 6. Maurice Papin, the Nazi collaborator turned politician. Maurice Papin's life was a complex narrative of collaboration, political ambition, and eventual reckoning. As an official in the Vichy government during World War II, Papin was instrumental in the deportation of Jews to concentration camps. Despite his post-war political career, which saw him hold various influential positions, his past remained a dark secret until it was exposed in the 1990s. Papin's trial for his wartime crimes was a significant moment in French history, revealing the enduring impact of wartime collaboration on individuals' lives and political careers. The revelations about Papin's actions and his subsequent conviction sparked a broader examination of France's wartime past and its implications for contemporary politics. How did Papin's collaboration with the Nazis affect his political career, and what was the impact of his trial on French society's understanding of wartime complicity? Number 5. Michael Fourniret, the French serial killer. Michael Fourniret, known as the Ogre of the Ardennes, was a serial killer whose terror spanned across France and Belgium from the 1980s to the early 2000s. Fourniret's heinous crimes involved the abduction, rape, and murder of numerous young women and girls, often targeting vulnerable individuals. His meticulous planning and brutal methods left a trail of fear and horror, making his case one of the most disturbing in French criminal history. Fourniret's arrest in 2003 marked the end of his reign of terror, but his case continued to shock and captivate the public. The investigation into Fourniret's crimes revealed the challenges of tracking down such elusive offenders and highlighted the need for improved investigative techniques. What drove Fourniret's brutal actions, and how did the investigation and trial unfold to bring him to justice? Number 4. Guy Georges, the Beast of the Bastille. Guy Georges, dubbed the Beast of the Bastille, was a serial killer whose crimes terrorized Paris in the 1990s. Known for his brutal attacks on young women, Georges' modus operandi involved rape and murder, leaving a trail of fear across the city. His ability to evade capture for an extended period added to the horror and anxiety experienced by the public. Georges' eventual arrest and conviction brought an end to his reign of terror, but his case exposed significant challenges in tracking and apprehending serial killers. The investigation into Georges' crimes highlighted the difficulties faced by law enforcement in dealing with such elusive and dangerous offenders. How did Georges manage to evade capture for so long? And what were the key factors that led to his eventual arrest and conviction? Number 3. Jean Bédel Bokassa, the self-styled emperor. Jean Bédel Bokassa, a Central African Republic dictator, became notorious for his brutal regime and self-proclaimed title as emperor. Although his crimes occurred outside of France, Bokassa's case had significant implications for French politics and diplomacy. His regime, marked by human rights abuses and extreme violence, drew international attention and criticism. Bokassa's connection to France, through both his support and eventual asylum, revealed the complexities of post-colonial relationships and the impact of French involvement in African affairs. The case highlighted the broader issues of political corruption and human rights abuses in former French colonies. What were the implications of Bokassa's regime for French foreign policy, and how did his case affect international perceptions of French involvement in Africa? Number 2. Albert Spaghieri, the master of the Nice bank heist. Albert Spaghieri achieved infamy for orchestrating one of the most audacious bank heists in French history. In 1972, Spaghieri and his accomplices executed a meticulously planned robbery of the Société Générale in Nice, stealing millions of francs. The heist was notable for its scale and Spaghieri's dramatic escape from custody, which added to his notoriety. His ability to outsmart law enforcement and execute such a high-profile crime demonstrated his criminal ingenuity and exposed vulnerabilities within the banking system. Spaghieri's case became a symbol of daring criminality and sparked a wider discussion about the security measures in place to protect valuable assets. How did Spaghieri's heist unfold? And what impact did his escape and subsequent criminal activities have on French banking security? Number 1. Jacques Mesrine, the public enemy number 1. Jacques Mesrine, a name synonymous with criminal notoriety in France, was a master of crime whose life spanned several decades of infamy. Mesrine's criminal career included a wide array of offenses, from bank robberies to kidnappings and murders. His charisma and audacity made him a legendary figure in French criminal history, and his exploits were widely publicized. Mesrine's daring escapes from custody and his violent death in a shootout with police cemented his status as one of France's most infamous criminals. His story has been the subject of numerous books and films, reflecting his enduring impact on the public imagination. How did Mesrine's criminal career shape his legacy, and what does his story reveal about the nature of criminal fame and notoriety? Thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed the content, please hit the like button and subscribe to stay updated with our latest videos on YouTube.